Look, we've been here now for about an hour and a half, and so are there any other comments that anybody wants to make? I know Chris wants to say something, maybe Oliver wants to reply before we move on to the other day, but maybe trying to get a better focus on some of the issues. So, okay, just so you, sir, and then you at the back. Yes, sir.
Ed. Sorry, it's not your right. Noliko Gaelic, I'm not affiliated to anybody. Like most people here, I've been getting angrier over the years with our political system and feeling that there was nothing I could do about it. Reform in the political system strikes me as being futile. All the political parties appear to me to be the same. One gets in, you do exactly the same as the last one. Slight changes, but it's all the same. I think if we're going to look for some sort of consensus, it has to be that there is some watchdog there that can make sure that whoever is running the country does what they're supposed to do. And if they don't do it, there's a way and a mechanism of taking them out of the situation. Also, that the people, whenever I have the opportunity to vote, I've always voted. But the people I vote for I don't particularly want. So I'm picking the best of the bad lot in most cases. I'm not saying all politicians are corrupt, but the system is corrupt. So I think when we I think that the first thing is to try and get all the like-minded thinking groups together, so that you don't end up like having a split in the first time, that you have so many different little groups that everybody thinks we're all potty. You need to get a general consensus out there, build up a communication system whereby all the people of Ireland have an input. And trying that if you go then to politicians and try and get a change, I can show you have 1 million people behind you. And that says something. And trying and build up a communications platform where you can, like Clinton O'Toole, where you can have an opportunity to put your points forward.
Lady at the back, did you want to say something again?
Yeah, I was getting a bit concerned when a few people have mentioned waiting till the end of the next term of government, 5 years down the line. All I can say is that I have a real sense of urgency about the reform that is needed. And if we wait for 5 years, we're all screwed. At least if we start doing something now, we have some possibility of maintaining some element of control, even if it is only damage limitation. So I would say we cannot, no way can we wait for 5 years. Now, I would think that there is a fair amount of consensus, even among the groups, that it is constitutional and political institutional reform that is needed. Two particular things that seem to me to be part of it is, yes, get rid of triumphalism. That is so awful. And it's one of the reasons why women won't run, because the system is so anti-person and men are better at taking on anti-person stuff. The other is to make it an obligation of every citizen to vote. And do what the Belgians and others do. They have to pay a fine if they don't vote. There's a responsibility on individual people to be active citizens. So it's not just putting up quality people, but also there should be an option on every ballot paper to express your displeasure that, instead of spoiling your ballot paper, that you can actually say, there's nobody here I could vote for. So little things like that would help change the system that has gone so bad. But if the reform has got to start now, can't wait 5 years.
Can I just respond to that, because I suggest 5 years in the next general election.
Okay, fine. Very briefly then.
Fair enough. We're starting today. I just don't think it's realistic that the incoming government is going to do much in response to anything we say at this point until we have a mass movement, until we have clear objectives. It's not that I don't want the reform now, it's that I don't think we can achieve it.
One thing you can do.
Excuse me, this man here has had their fingers up first.
Yeah, just on that, I think it's pointless expecting the Dáil to ever reform itself. That the system, as I said earlier, is as soon as you start to tinker with it, it becomes unstable and collapses, and therefore it's not going to reform itself. I think we could perhaps be inspired by how the first republic was formed, where people actually set up a republic. I think we should have the convention, set up constitution, and start governing from a grassroots up, from a local level. And that is the only way you're going to achieve reform, and you can actually start doing it tomorrow.
Sorry, I beg your pardon for interrupting. One thing you can do is revive an old tradition of the boycott. You can do, somebody suggested you be like Ford Fulton, and you kind of give all candidates, whatever party, a rating, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, and if they don't support constitutional reform, just issue a press release saying don't vote for that person because they're continuing the old system.
Another point I meant to make, and this is just, I was thinking about myself before, and just following what Cal said, we should be exploring and using new technology for direct democracy and for participation. We could all participate in every decision in the Dáil by logging on, or going to our local library and logging on, or even from our mobile phone. There's an awful lot that could be done that way, and a few programmers involved should be exploring that among us soon.
Sorry, yes.
Just, last comment very quickly. I just wanted to echo the points of the lady here. I really think, yes, long term is very important, and 5 years' time is you absolutely have to strike when the iron is hot. I mean, the gentleman here talks about business. This is a massive business opportunity that's staring us in the face now. There is a feeling and a desire out there, and we've, in my view, a very limited opportunity to at least launch ourselves forward from where we are now at a tiny, very small level to something that's understood and recognised across the country. So, long term is fine, but there won't be a long term if we don't take that big leap. And we have now, whatever, the 5th of December, 4th of December, and the next election will be in 2 months' time. I really think what we do between now and that election, whatever we do, whether there's candidates for the Dáil, whether there's not candidates for the Dáil, whatever we do, that 8-week period, 10-week period is going to be critical.
Yes, you.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Fine Gael and Labour absolutely will institute reform in the next Dáil. They will do it in their own interests, and that's just the nature of people, the nature of everything. So we have to be aware that that's a crucial tactical moment, that we have to influence that it's in the benefit of the whole nation and not just their segment groups. And the second thing is just that I just have mindset written down here. This seems to be more than just a political thing. It seems to be a cultural thing. Irish people were afraid to stand up against it. They just kind of gave up, just said that's the way it is. And it's just something about this spreading a bit more than this. It's something that maybe artists and filmmakers and things coming in from different angles will contribute towards a new republic and a new start.
Back there, then you.
My name is Brendan Kelly. I'm the liaison officer of Woodland League. I'm also a member of Beach Newell. Now, the way I see things is that our island gas have already been sold. There's 1.5 million acres of our forestry to be sold in the very near future. And I think we have to elect people to get into the Dáil and fight for our natural resources. Because without our natural resources, we've nothing. Our oil is gone. Our forestries are next to go.
I'm actually new to this and I don't know a lot about it, and Oliver, I wasn't so sure what I didn't hear at the beginning, so I may be wrong if I am, that's okay, but it seems to me you're looking